And that's why I want to personally extend my gratitude to Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively.
Blake Lively is losing it when Chelsea Handler attacked her cruelly on live TV. Handler criticized the entire court issue, calling it nothing more than a distraction, and sarcastically praised her for the entertainment.
Chelsea Handler just roasted Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni in front of a lot of major celebrities at an award show. I don't think Blake Lively is going to like it.
The entire Hollywood crowd chuckled in agreement, indicating Lively's victim play has entirely failed.
I want to acknowledge that we've been through a lot lately, not just here in Los Angeles, but our entire country. Waking up every day, not knowing what news we are going to hear.
Blake Lively undoubtedly felt she was the queen of Hollywood. She probably felt everyone was on her side, going along with her little soap drama, nodding sympathetically while she wailed about being a victim. Well, that illusion crumbled into a million pieces the second Chelsea Handler took the stage at the 2025 Critics' Choice Awards. This was a public execution.
So it is important in times like these to have a distraction. And that's why I want to personally extend my gratitude to Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively.
Choice Awards are normally all about self-congratulatory remarks and false humility. But this year,
I'm grateful. I think we're all grateful. And I think we're good.
Chelsea Handler hijacked the night and turned it into a full-blown critique of Blake Lively's poor PR circus. Handler didn't hold back. She walked onto that platform with a flamethrower and pointed it squarely at Lively. And the best part, Hollywood didn't flinch. They laughed.
I think everybody in this room, no matter whose side you're on, we can all agree to accept that there's probably not going to be a sequel. It ends with us, guys.
Let's speak about the moment that set the internet on fire. Handler, with her usual deadpan approach, stared right into the crowd and stated, "I want to personally extend my gratitude to Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively for the distraction." Crowd erupted, not with gasps or awkward silence, but with sheer, uncontrolled laughter. This was Hollywood collectively informing Lively that they are done with her sob story. The most brutal part? Handler followed up with,
Look, she does make fun of Justin and Blake, but the fact that she's making fun of it at all shows she doesn't believe
and
Blake.
let's not disregard who was laughing. Orlando Bloom, Emma Stone, Ryan Gosling, huge A-listers, doubled over, cheering, wiping tears from their eyes. This was a message loud and clear. Hollywood has now ceased pretending to care about Blake Lively's lawsuit. The industry is over it, the media is over it, and following Chelsea's roast, even her own peers are laughing at her.
And she decided to file a complaint with the California Human Rights Division. But that was really, I believe, and it is alleged by Justin's lawyers now, just a setup so that she could give the New York Times cover to do a huge hit piece on him and attempted rehab of her.
Might have headed into December 2024, thinking she was going to pull off the performance of her life. She undoubtedly envisioned herself as the next strong female legend, boldly standing up against injustice, taking down the big bad man in a dramatic Hollywood courtroom. But here's what truly happened.
Why are we here, Blake? Because again, you gotta remember, Blake filed this suit, not Justin. Blake filed this suit. And if all of Hollywood is really believing her and Ryan, well, then why are they laughing? It's because this shouldn't be funny. This shouldn't be funny if we are seriously taking Blake's case so serious, which we're not.
He sued Baldoni, saying he sexually harassed her and conducted a smear campaign against her. She must have imagined she was ready to take him down and emerge out looking like a fierce survivor. Too bad she didn't anticipate one tiny problem. Baldoni wasn't about to roll over and take the fall for her fairy tale victim story.
I would challenge back. This is absolutely not good for Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. To see the Critics' Choice Award, which is a lot of critics and people coming in, it's press and people who review the films or at least hobnob with the studios. They're there trying to be nice to all the celebrities.
2025 rolls around, and Baldoni shoots back with a lawsuit so huge it could bankrupt a small country. $400 million in defamation and civil extortion against Lively, Ryan Reynolds, and the New York Times. And guess what? Baldoni brought receipts.
And unless Blake's dropping something to warrant all the things that she did to him, Yeah, Justin deserves justice. Justin deserves to get his Wayfarer back where it was. Justin gets to deserve to make more movies.
The entire lawsuit started crumbling apart quicker than her reputation. Leaked messages, behind-the-scenes footage, and emails showed her inconsistencies, contradictions, and straight-up fabrications. She altered the narrative to make herself look like a victim, but Baldoni had the proof to shut her down.
Interestingly enough, all of these publications, which are known to just like publish whatever, they publish things about me that are completely untrue, they don't care about defamation or anything like that, all declined to publish this.
Understood precisely what she was doing when she blasted Lively in front of the entire business. This wasn't simply a joke. It was a Hollywood-wide declaration that nobody is buying Blake's little victim routine anymore. Handler didn't have to say Blake Lively is a liar out loud. The room full of celebs laughing at her did that for her.
I don't like her. She seems like a bully. She was such a high-maintenance diva bully brat.
About how Lively tried and failed to dominate the media. She must have thought she had it all worked out. She undoubtedly got down with her PR staff thinking, we will feed the tabloids our version of events, make Baldoni look like a monster, and instantly gain public sympathy. Too bad Chelsea Handler saw right through the fakery and called her out in front of the world.
Because this shouldn't be funny. This shouldn't be funny if we are seriously taking Blake's case so serious, which we're not. No one is, because her case has no evidence. It's complete nonsense.
Staff inundated the media with attack articles against Baldoni before the lawsuit even reached the judge. They were working overtime to make sure the public only saw Lively as the brave victim and Baldoni as the criminal. And Baldoni did what Lively wasn't expecting. He fought back with genuine evidence.
He called me sexy and asked how much I weigh when he has a back problem. It is absurd what she's accusing him of, as we've broken down.
Emails revealing Lively's crew had prepared these accusations from the very beginning. Not only that, but she even dragged the New York Times into it, using them as her personal soapbox to peddle her one-sided narrative. Huge error, since now Baldoni is suing the Journal for $250 million, and they're scrambling to separate themselves from her. Disaster.
At these Hollywood award shows, was actually going to step up and make some jokes. So props to Chelsea Handler. I think she could have gone harder. I think she could have gone more on Blake and Ryan, but she's playing in the middle. But all I will say is this is not, Blake Lively's not.
Chelsea Handler parodied the whole situation effortlessly. She sarcastically thanked Lively for the entertainment, emphasizing what everyone already suspected. This was never about justice. This was a PR gimmick gone horribly wrong. The greatest part. While Chelsea was roasting her on live TV, Lively was apparently at home, spiraling, scrolling Twitter, watching the world laugh at her breakdown in real time. This isn't how she saw things going, is it?
This sums up Hollywood in a nutshell. Oh God, please don't show me a laugh. I don't want to get Blake and Ryan mad, but it's funny. Please don't cut to me. Please don't cut to me. Oh God, it's funny though, and I have to laugh at it because this whole thing's ridiculous.
Baldoni made improper comments while she was breastfeeding on site. Sounds shocking, right? Too bad it was a complete fabrication, and the invoices proved it. Baldoni's legal team produced text conversations that showed Lively. Herself invited Baldoni inside her trailer while she was breastfeeding. Yep, you heard that right. She wasn't some hapless victim being invaded. She actually told him to come in.
Is this at the expense of Justin not getting his justice? No, I think this is proving to Blake it's a joke. Your lawsuit was a joke. Why'd you do this? And why is all Hollywood still dealing with all this drama? Blake, move on. This wasn't worth a lawsuit in the first place. That's how I take it.
Even the worst part. Not only did Lively lie about being uncomfortable, but hacked communications also indicated she repeatedly brought up breastfeeding in casual discussions. It wasn't Baldoni who was infatuated with it. It was her. The industry saw those texts and immediately recognized what was happening. She got caught bending yet another narrative, and it crashed right in front of her.
Please don't cut to me. Please don't cut to me. Oh God, it's funny though, and I have to laugh at it because this whole thing's ridiculous. And yes, it's been such a wonderful, dramatic distraction, but...
At this point, Chelsea Handler didn't even need to say anything. The harm was already done, but she did what she does best and threw the last nail in the coffin anyway. Hollywood wasn't shuddering at Lively's trauma. They weren't muttering in concern. They were laughing. And when an entire industry is laughing at you instead of supporting you,
She seems like kind of a jerk.
Who's telling the truth? Is he some creep harasser who took a shot at somebody like Blake, jeopardizing his movie and his future career? Or is she just extremely high maintenance and someone who plays the victim when she doesn't get her way?
if Lively still had any respect left in Hollywood, Handler's roast would have been welcomed with awkward silence. But that's not
Wow, she's like kind of a bully. She's rather mean.
room. Orlando Bloom, Margot Robbie, and half the room full of Hollywood's elite were in full-on hysterics.
And then says, it smells good. And she says, it's my body makeup. That's her big harassment moment.
And let's speak about who wasn't laughing, or better yet, who wasn't even in the room to defend her. If Blake still had Hollywood backing her, at least one of her so-called powerful supporters would have stepped in. But where were they? Nowhere to be found.
Well, today, her team, and respect to them for the speed at which her marketing team moves, dropped an entire article in the press announcing that her and Blake are taking a break. They're no longer friends because, shocking, Taylor Swift feels used. She always feels used.
But that one name in particular was glaringly absent: Taylor Swift. You would think that if Blake was genuinely hurting, her best friend would have something to say about it. But instead, Swift went utterly silent the instant Baldoni started, dropping evidence. That's not just a coincidence. That's an intentional move.
Is she being used, or are people starting to jump into lifeboats because Ryan and Blake's Titanic, the ship that not even God could sink, is sinking? It's going down.
Hollywood dislikes crises that make them seem bad. And if someone as powerful as Taylor Swift isn't ready to sacrifice her own reputation for you, it means you are no longer worth protecting. Swift's PR team was in full panic mode when Baldoni's jury lawyer said they would depose her as a witness in the lawsuit. The instant Swift understood this wasn't just some Hollywood gossip, but an actual legal lawsuit that might drag her name into the mud, she pulled out faster than Blake's credibility.
We all know the backstory here. Blake Lively essentially threatened, you could say, Justin Baldoni, calling Taylor Swift and Ryan Reynolds her beautiful little dragon monsters that she sometimes has to use to get what she wants done.
But Lively's difficulties don't stop there, because she's not the only one whose reputation is in freefall. Ryan Reynolds, Hollywood's golden boy, has officially been dragged into this debacle, and it is not looking good for him. Reynolds was mentioned in Baldoni's $400 million lawsuit as a significant role in Lively's smear campaign, and let's just say the charges are unpleasant. Reports suggest that Reynolds surreptitiously sought to hijack Baldoni's picture, changing entire sections behind his back and even bringing in his own editor to recut the movie. This wasn't just a case of standing by his wife. Rather, Reynolds actively worked to ruin the initiative. When Baldoni refused to allow him take charge, Lively easily turned around and accused Baldoni of harassment. What an incredibly terrible effort at a power move.
For the time being, she is taking a step back from Blake because she doesn't want to get tangled in this more than she already has, which is far more than she ever needed to.
Hollywood has a long memory. It never forgets. No matter how much time passes, every success, scandal, and controversy is inscribed onto its history. Once anything takes traction in the public eye, it's nearly impossible to eradicate. And now, as this litigation develops into a full-blown PR disaster, the industry is watching attentively, dissecting every move, every word, and every connection. What started as a legal issue has grown into something much bigger, a storm that no one involved can escape. The media has caught up on the drama, headlines are being penned, and social media is bustling with speculation. In Hollywood, perception is everything, and when a situation becomes too ugly, people start distancing themselves in order to safeguard their own image. Even Ryan Reynolds, who has always been a strong defender of his wife, Blake Lively, seems to be stepping back from the situation. Where he formerly stood by her side without hesitation, he's now walking gingerly, perhaps aware that the deeper he's involved with this dispute, the more it could harm his own career. Hollywood is merciless, and no one, no matter how famous or beloved, is immune to its scrutiny.
And Blake Lively, who I believe thought she would be received or perceived as an Alyssa Milano or Ashley Judd Me Too victim, is instead looking a lot more like Amber Heard.
Chelsea Handler's roast wasn't only about Blake. It was intended at Reynolds too. The second she made the remark about no sequel, she wasn't just talking about the movie, she was talking about their careers.
It's just incredibly telling to see Hollywood they're out of patience. They don't want to hear this nonsense anymore. Here it is.
It ends with us.
Here it is. Again, more celebrities laughing.
There's probably not going to be a sequel. It ends with us, guys.
If Reynolds was thinking that his Deadpool charm would save him, he best think again. No number of caustic tweets and quirky interviews can disguise the fact that he is now indelibly attached to a big Hollywood controversy. The real question now is how long before he ultimately cuts connections with Lively totally. If we've learned anything from Hollywood history, big-name performers will always put their own jobs over their relationships. Lively may assume she and Reynolds are some invincible Hollywood power couple, but if the industry continues to turn against her, Reynolds will not go down with her. He has developed a reputation that stands on its own, regardless of Lively's controversies. Handler understood just what she was doing when she drew Reynolds into the roast. This wasn't just a casual joke, it was a deliberate maneuver. She wanted people to start questioning Reynolds' association with Lively, bringing him into the story of her demise. This isn't just about Lively's disintegrating reputation anymore. It's about whether Reynolds can survive this mess without incurring serious damage. March 2026 is the ultimate confrontation. If she loses this case, she won't simply lose a lawsuit, she'll lose Hollywood. The industry has a short memory when it comes to scandals, but only for those who manage to flee, before the harm becomes irrevocable. Lively is at a crossroads. Either she wins and salvages what's left of her career, or she loses and Hollywood moves on without her. Handler's final remark about no sequel wasn't just about it ends with us. It was about Blake Lively's career itself. Because after this, there might not be a sequel for her either. And Chelsea Handler? She merely did what Hollywood was too terrified to do. She said it out loud. She converted what was formerly whispered behind closed doors into a public discourse.